Hi, I'm Ina and welcome to gogetglobal.com. Have you ever changed a job and found that it was very difficult to get used to the new environment? Today we will talk about these expressions. To get used to or to be used to something versus used to do something in the past. Very often my students confuse these expressions although they have nothing in common at all. So let's have a look. The expression used to do something in the past, so used to plus infinitive, refers to habits or repeated actions in the past which are no longer true. For example, I used to live in Canada, but now I live in Spain. I used to work in HR, but now I teach, etc. So it refers to something that was my habit in the past, but I no longer do that. Be careful when you use this expression in the negative or question form. For example, did you used to struggle with your English, but now you feel better because you're taking lessons? So in the question form, you don't need the ed ending. And in the negative form, I didn't used to do exercises, but now I am more disciplined and I try to go to the gym at least twice a week. So in the negative form is didn't, used to plus infinitive. And now let's move on to the expressions to be used to or to get used to something. The structure is to be or to get used to plus gerund or noun. For example, when I lived in Canada, I used to drive a car because we didn't have so many options of public transport and the cities are really spread out and there are really long distances between places. So I wasn't used to taking public transport. Here in Spain, things are a little bit different, and specifically Barcelona is a very compact city, which is great, and there are a lot of options of public transport. So here I am used to public transport, or I am used to taking public transport. The expression to be used to something refers to a state of being accustomed to something. Okay, I am used to speaking Spanish now as well. The expression to get used to something refers to the process of becoming accustomed to something. For example, here in Spain, people have a dinner very late at night, probably around 9 or 10 o'clock, which is quite strange for me. In Canada, I used to have dinner around 7 o'clock, the latest, I think. So this is something I am still getting used to here in Spain. I'm getting used to having dinner at 9 o'clock. There are also some things that I simply can't get used to or I refuse to get used to. For example, when I lived in Canada, I lived in a big house and I had a nice garden, which is something I really missed here. In Barcelona, it's a bit more complicated to live in a house and I live in an apartment, just like many people do. And unfortunately, I simply cannot get used to living in an apartment. I cannot get used to the noise from the neighbors. But I guess I have to face the reality and one day I will have to get used to living in an apartment. I will tell you about something that I got used to very quickly though. I got used to the sunshine that Barcelona has to offer. I got used to the sea. I got used to eating very good food. So all these things I really appreciate and I love. And in Canada, for example, I was never used to the cold winter. So that's something I absolutely hated. And I was never used to it. So before I let you go, let me use these expressions in one phrase, okay? And see if it all makes sense now. When I lived in Canada, I didn't used to like seafood. But here in Spain, it's something very common and I am now used to eating seafood at least once a week. Okay, now it's your turn. Tell me about a time when you had to get used to something. Thank you for learning with us, and I hope you enjoyed your lesson. Thank you. Bye-bye.